Hello, everyone. Welcome to Inside Talk Show. I'm Carla Elizondo. We're continuing the reading of Awakened Imagination by Neville Goddard. We're on chapter 4, The Pruning Shears of Revision. The second man is the Lord from heaven. Never will he say caterpillars. Never will he say caterpillars. He'll say, there's a lot of butterflies, as is to be on our cabbage. Cabbages, pure. Neville, what you talking about, Willis? Okay. Never will he say caterpillars. He'll say, there's a lot of butterflies, as is to be. Butterflies, as is to be on our cabbage. Pure. He won't say it's winter. He'll say summer's sleeping. And there's no bud little enough nor sad colored enough for Kester not to calling it the beginnings of the blow. Mary Webb from Precious Bain. Is that a poem? But I like that. So he won't say caterpillars, he'll say butterflies yet to be. He won't say winter, he'll say summer is sleeping. Okay, I get what you're putting down. The very first act of correction or cure is always revise. One must start with oneself. It is one's attitude that must change, don't we know it? The very first action of correction or cure is always revise. One must start with oneself. It is one's attitude that must change. What we are, that only can we see. Ralph Waldo Emerson. What we are, only we can see that. It is a most healthy and productive exercise to daily relief, the day as you wish you had lived it. Oh, Carla, it's a rough one. Let's do this again. Let's revise this. It is a most healthy and productive exercise to daily relive the day as you wish you had lived it, revising the scenes to make them conform to your ideals. For instance, suppose today's mail brought disappointing news. Revise the letter, mentally rewrite it, and make it conform to the news you wish you had received. Then, in imagination, read the revised letter over and over again. This is the essence of revision, and revision results in repeal. The one requisite is to arouse your attention in a way to such intensity that you become wholly absorbed in the revised action. You will experience an expansion and refinement of the senses by this imaginative exercise and eventually achieve vision. But always remember that the ultimate purpose of this exercise is to create in you the Spirit of Jesus, which is continual forgiveness of sin or missing the mark. Revision is of greatest importance when the motive is to change oneself, when there is a sincere desire to be something different, when the longing is to awaken the ideal active spirit of forgiveness. Without imagination, man remains a being of sin. Man either goes forward to imagination or remains imprisoned in his senses. Did you hear that? We either go forward to imagination, to the future. We either go forward in imagination or remain imprisoned here and now in the physical world and what we're seeing with our senses, with our physical senses. So we either go forward to imagination or remain imprisoned in the senses. To go forward to imagination is to forgive. It's to move forward literally. Forgo, forgive, forget, move on. In here and out here, remember, because this follows this. So to go forward to imagination is to forgive. Forgiveness is the life of the imagination. Yeah, let's think about that. Let's examine our own imagination. If you're having a hard time, or I'll keep myself to this too, even today, let's think about today. let's see where our imagination is getting stuck. Is it because we're caught in the past that we're not forgiving ourselves or somebody else, that we're holding on to grudges, grievances, the past mistakes, past sin, missing the mark, beating ourselves up, sitting in guilt? Is that why we can't use our imagination? Because he says right here, to go forward to imagination is to forgive. Forgiveness is the life of the imagination. So what's the death of imagination, or the dormant state of imagination? According to this definition, if forgiveness is the life of imagination, the death of imagination is holding on and the unforgiveness. The art of living is the art of forgiving. Ooh, I love this so much. If you're not familiar with A Course in Miracles, it's a book so powerful, which basically is the goal of the Course in Miracles is inner peace. Through inner peace, we achieve inner peace through being saved, salvation. Saved from what? Our separation from oneness. What causes a separation? Unforgiveness. So our only job in this world, our life, is inner peace, according to the Course in Miracles, is to be saved from ourselves, from our own twisted way of thinking, of not forgiving. Once we forgive, we're free. And remember, forgiveness is not for the other person. It's for us. We're letting go of the chains, the shackles, whether it be something that we did to ourselves, past, present, or future, in our mind, or that someone else did. We must forgive, because it sounds like if we can't forgive and let go, we can't, our imagination lays dead and dormant. But the imagination is the future. It's the key to everything we want. The art of living is the art of forgiving. Forgiveness is, in fact, experiencing in imagination the revised version of the day, experiencing in imagination what you wish you had experienced in the flesh. Every time one really forgives, that is, every time one relives the event as it should have been lived, one is born again. Remember, renew your mind every day. So forgiveness is, in fact, experiencing in imagination the revised version of the day, experiencing in imagination what you wish you had experienced in the flesh. Tonight, when you lay your head down, go over the day. Take an inventory of your day from the moment you got up to the moment you're in bed now tonight. And go over your whole day. Where was I great? Where was I not so great? Where do I wish, I wish I would have done that differently? Okay, that's great. Be honest with yourself. It's not to beat yourself up. You're already feeling it anyway, subconsciously. Whatever parts of your day hold charge that you wish would be different, replay them in your mind. For example, because I've done this, I love this exercise. Actually, A Course in Miracles teaches this, but it's not shocking that Neville teaches this, because every true great teaching says the same thing. So, revision. Say you were on the freeway, driving in traffic, and somebody cuts you off. First of all, you're late for wherever you're going, you're stressed, someone cuts you off. You flip them off. Then you see them, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. And then you come, you're like, oh man, I should have just been, it's one car in front of me. I could have dealt with that different, but you can't do take backs. You can't rewind the clock physically and take back your bird. You flip to the bird. You're reacting. You didn't respond. You didn't take a deep breath. You reacted emotionally, triggered. So what you would do tonight, you would lay down and you would replay that. You would breathe calmly in your car, see yourself where you were, see the car still cut you off, but have a moment of breath. And then in that space that you gave yourself, you'll see them apologize, and then you'll be like, it's all good. It happens. And feel it. Feel how that would feel like if you did do that. Then in your mind, it is if you had done that. So you revise your day, replaying it how you want it to be. It's very, very healing. So every time one really forgives, every time someone really forgives, that is every time one relives the event as it should have been lived, one is born again. You can really rewrite your story. Okay. Father, forgive them is not the plea that comes once a year, but the opportunity that comes every day. The idea of forgiving is a daily possibility, and if it is sincerely done, it will lift man to a higher and higher levels of being. He will experience a daily Easter, and Easter is the idea of rising transformed. You got to die to yourself. All the great philosophers said that. To live, you must first die. We must die to ourselves daily. In Eastern traditions, empty rice bowl, come empty, clean out your vessel daily so that you can come empty to the day, not knowing, have a beginner's mind. And forgiving is the emptying out of the trash can, really, of all the stuff you're holding on to clear your vessel for a brand new day, be born again, be brand new. Don't bring anything from the past. Let go of all your luggage, all your resentments, all of your grievances, all of your annoyances, every resentment, whatever it is, let it go. Of course, I'm saying, oh, that's easy. It's going to take work. But once you do the work, it's gone. You did it. And it teaches you so much about yourself, and it sets you up for success in the future. Because this life is just a life of energy exchanges through relationships, however that be. Coworkers, family, partners, romantic, intimate. We're just exchanging energy all the time. And the better we are at it, meaning the more we know ourselves and can respond and control and be at peace, the easier life will be. And everything will come to you so easy. Who doesn't want to be around a person that's serene? They're calm. They respond. They're not reactive. They're not explosive. They're not, dwelling in the past and holding on to keeping tabs, keeping score on all the crap other people did. When they've done something too, we all do it. No one's perfect. So just remember, if you're not forgiving someone for something, if you're holding on, judging them, talking about it in your head, reminiscing on a memory that makes you feel like something someone did to you, just remember, someone's playing a tape of you in their head. You're the villain in someone's life. Believe that. No matter how nice you are, someone doesn't like you. So just remember that next time you hold a stinky thought about someone else. Would you want someone to do that about you? No, you wouldn't. But as long as you're living in that space, feeding that energy of negativity towards someone else, you're inviting that same energy for someone to hold that against you. Yeah. Okay. So the idea of forgiving is a daily possibility. And if it's sincerely done, it will lift us higher and higher to levels of being. We will experience a daily Easter, and Easter is the idea of rising transformed. And that should be almost a continuous process. It's a daily process of dying, suffering, and being reborn again, rising. The phoenix rising, they think those are times, it's a metaphor for great tragedy and then coming out, but we have a mini rising of the phoenix from the ashes daily. Burn it down, burn the past down, burn yesterday down to the ashes and rise anew. So really rising from the ashes, be the phoenix every morning. Bigger, better, brighter, brand new. Be reborn again. Born again. Freedom and forgiveness are indissolubly linked. That's the truth. Freedom and forgiveness go hand in hand. Not to forgive is to be at war with ourselves, for we are freed according to our capacity to forgive. That is the truth. Because if we're holding someone in prison, in mental prison, we have to guard them. So they're in our prison and we're watching guard of the gate. in the dungeon. So guess what? We're in the dungeon. But we fool ourselves thinking, well, yeah, because I'm keeping this jerk here. But you're down there with the jerk. Free yourself. Open the gate. Let them out. Get out of that joint. Get out of the dungeon. And you can say, well, they don't deserve to be out of the dungeon. Well, guess what? You do. And the only way you're going to get free from that dungeon is to let them out too. And just trust that the bigger forces at work that we cannot see, that runs this earth, spinning, hurling through space, let's be real. It's a miracle. My eyes are blinking, my food is digesting right now. I don't have to, it's happening. There is a greater intelligence bigger than us. Just trust that that intelligence will take care and make right whatever that person did, way better than you ever could. In your deepest, darkest plans to get them back or revenge or prove or hold them to whatever. The universe, God, does such a better job than we could ever do. Retribution, baby. It's the law. Nobody gets away with anything. It might look like it for a while, but everything that happens in the dark comes to light, sure as shit. Don't you worry about it. We just don't, sometimes we don't have the patience, so we leapfrog on it, and then we kind of lose the opportunity for the ultimate right, you know? It's made right. Everything is made right. Every wrong is made right. Trust that. Don't get in the way of it. It's like if you were given the best judge, the most just right judge who does the right thing all the time, but he's like, I'll do it in my time. But you're like, oh, hell no, this person has to go to jail right now. They have to apologize. The judge sits back and says, all right, do it your way. And then you lose the opportunity. I mean, I think it always ends up happening, but you just end up making a bigger mess and being more unhappy. So forgive. Freedom and forgiveness go hand in hand. Not to forgive is to be at war with ourselves, for we are freed according to our capacity to forgive. Forgive, and you shall be forgiven. Forgive not merely from a sense of duty or service. Forgive because you want to. Thy ways are ways of pleasantness, and all thy paths are peace. You must take pleasure in revision. You can forgive others effectively only when you have a sincere desire to identify them with their ideal. Duty has no momentum. Duty has no momentum. So to forgive others, genuinely revise, and it's not revise maybe when you made a wrong. Revise, say, you were the one that someone was in your blind spot and you, because it happens. There's been times where I put my blinker on, I look and I go over and all of a sudden honk honk, and I'm like, oh crap, I didn't see that car. I didn't do it on purpose. It was that's called a blind spot, literally. We have them. They're real. And so what if that person, you know, I'm just la 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 and I go, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, but they're like, you better, they throw a burrito at me or something. Like they just go off, flip me off, chase me down, key my car. I mean, crazy, right? What if they just lost their poo? And of course I would be like, holy crap. I could be a victim. I must forgive if I want to be free. So I can revise it. I will replay that just like I did. See my boo-boo, honk honk, and then see them being like, peace, it's all good. Because I will see them at their ideal. We have a sincere desire to identify them with their ideal. See them revise their mistake. See them at their best. Forget their worst. Forget their reactive state. Revise it, replay it in your head as if they responded peacefully. How you want it to be, how you would have liked it to be. So duty has no momentum. Forgiveness is a matter of deliberately withdrawing attention from the unrevised day and giving it full strength and joyously to the revised day. Okay, so forgiveness is just a matter of deliberately withdrawing attention from the day, how it happened, the unrevised boo-boos. So take all of your attention away from the problem that happened and give full strength joyously to the revised version. If a person begins to revise even a little of the vexations and troubles of the day, then they begin to work practically on themselves. Every revision is a victory over themselves and therefore a victory over their enemy. This is deep stuff. So when a person begins to revise even a little of the vexations and troubles of the day, then they begin to work practically on themselves. Every revision is a victory over themselves and therefore a victory over their enemy. Right? The past is over. It can touch me not. But not if I keep replaying that past and getting all emotionally involved in all the crap that happened. A man's foes are those of his own household. This sounds like out of Romeo and Juliet. A man's foes are those of his own household. So a man's enemies, our enemies are the ones inside. Those are the biggest enemies. I will never forget. I was at a lecture and the woman who was speaking, she's so funny. She was saying, we talk all the time about the darkness that creeps across the world and all the people who are rude and it's like that movie Scream. We should say, the call's coming from inside the house. Everything you're feeling, right? With our eyes, of course, we think it's happening. I mean, in the 3D world, we can see the things happening. But the real thing that's causing us turmoil, it's coming from inside the house. We do it to ourselves. We're the worst enemy. We're our biggest foe. A man's foes are those of his own household. And his household is his state of mind. He changes his future as he revises his day. When a man practices the art of forgiveness of revision, however factual the scene on which sight then he rests, he revises it within his imagination and gazes on one never before witnessed. Okay. So when we practice the art of forgiveness of revision, however real the scene was in reality, we revise it with our imagination the way we want it, and we look on it as if something that we've never seen before. The magnitude of the change which any act of revision involves makes such change appear wholly improbable to the realist, the unimaginative man. But the radical changes in the fortunes of the prodigal were all produced by a change of heart. The battle man fights is fought out in his own imagination. That is truly the truth, you guys. Anything we're suffering, it's in our own mind, it's in our own imagination. The battle we fight is fought in our own imagination. The person who does not revise the day has lost the vision of that life, into the likeness of which it is the true labor of the Spirit of Jesus to transform this life. Okay, so the person who does not revise the day has lost the vision of that life. We lose it to the likeness that we can be the Christ-like, the Jesus, self that's within us, that power of our mind to transform our life. We lose that. So when we don't revise our day, we lose the opportunity for another way. All things whatsoever ye would that men should do to you, even so do ye to them, for this is the law. Okay, that's a scripture. Okay. All things whatsoever ye would that men should do to you, even so do ye to them, for it's the law. Okay. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Even though, oh my gosh, I was teaching my little kiddos this. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. The golden rule. But then I see somebody, pinch someone And then they pinch them back. I said, hey, what about the golden rule? Well, she pinched me first. It's like, okay, you don't understand the golden rule. Even though that person pinched you, you don't pinch them back. That's the hard work. And as adults, the pinching we do, those clapbacks, those insults, well, I will not let them insult. I will not let them slap me without slapping them back. We can't resist. We just have to react. And mostly these days it's in words. When someone says something, we cannot resist to snap back. But that is where the magic happens. And even if you snapped back, tonight you would be revising how that conversation went in a peaceful, calm way on both ends. You would see yourself at your highest ideal, and you would see them at their highest ideal. Forgive, cleanse, rewash the picture. If it happened in a way that was dirty and stinky in real life, and there's evidence, in your mind, replay it, clean it up, wash it up, rewrite the story, the narrative of the day. Okay? Even if it was something in the past. I was sharing this morning that I literally did this. It's very coincidental. I was just sharing this idea of revision with somebody, and I said it's really helped me because I beat myself up. Ooh, y'all, I've shared with mistakes I've made, unelegant choices in the past, and it held me back. I didn't think I deserved it. I thought I was being punished. I thought I was a bad person. And there were consequences. There were effects in real world, you know. I had to forgive myself. I had to revise it. I saw the situations happening in a way that exhibited my highest self, my most elegant self. What choice would I have made instead of that choice that's causing me so much pain? So in my mind, I replayed it and I made that choice. And I really meditated on it and I felt it. It's so powerful. Do this. Pick one thing, homework, pick one thing in your life, whether it's something you've done, whether it's something someone else has done, that just hurts. It pisses you off. It triggers you. It's like you cannot let it go. Nope. They're not going to walk free from this one. I'm not going to let myself off the hook for this one. Take that situation and try this practice of revision. Sit down quietly, shut out the world, and play the scenario in your head as many times as it takes until you can replay it in a way that is the most peaceful, beautiful, that does not result in the pain that it caused. Because there's always choices. And that's what sin means. There was a point where we missed the mark. We're like, oops, tripped. And that's what led to a situation of unforgiveness or for sinning, right? I sinned. Oh, I feel so bad. They sinned against me. Whatever. They missed the mark. I missed the mark. So practice this revision. Close your eyes, pick a situation, and see the person who hurt you. So, yeah, if somebody was just in a relationship, those are big ones. Broke your heart, cheated on you, lied to you, betrayed you. Replay the whole relationship. Making different choices, or in the moment of the big heartbreak, if they broke up with you in a really shitty way, imagine how you would want it to happen. Imagine maybe you would walk away first. Ooh, take back your power. I think you get it. So revise the day. Let's start with today when we go to bed tonight, or even today. Just revise something that happened yesterday. This is a powerful exercise. I love it. This was just literally a page and a half of chapter 4. So we'll continue tomorrow. We have a few more pages left. So I'll continue. Chapter 4, Awaken Imagination, Neville Goddard. See you tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed that. As always, I'm here for you. All my information is in the bio, the link in my bio. Reach out if you have any questions. I am fully here for you and open, and I have a lot of resources and information, and I would love to get in touch with you. So I'm here for you. I'll see you guys tomorrow.